Welcome to my channel, Mary Born ND, Gardening with Granny, and we're going to do a quick mid-July garden tour. We're going to start here on my deck where my 3 green stalks are, and you can see that they are doing pretty lovely. Have some bird that captured one of my tomatoes, unfortunately, but they are coming along, and I still have some ripe ones here, which is pretty exciting. Yum. Got dill growing in here. I have a lot of things that need to be pulled that have gone and bolted. I've got more strawberries starting over here, and some chard, marigolds, kale, and I did start some more lettuce in the 3rd green stalk. We'll get over there in a minute. Got parsley. We've been eating off of the peas, these snow peas, and enjoying them. Had quite a few dinners with them. It's been really hot here from Michigan, and this is the first rather cool day, but it is going to go back up into the high 80s again and 90s. These are tricolored beans, and they've got some beans coming. Got buds on them. And this is lettuce. This is the 4th planting of lettuce that I've done. And we've been having salads almost every other day. That's been fun. Really, really enjoy the green stalks. When somebody's health is not to the point where they can actually dig in the garden, these are such a great way to be able to garden. So we're now in the front porch area, and I'm excited to see that the caladium that I planted here is coming up. I didn't know if there'd be enough sun for it to pop through, but I'm excited that it is doing that. We'll see the other ones near the grapevine shortly. Brunnera are doing good. I put my potted geraniums in here to get some good rain and weather. Heuchera are looking lovely, and the ferns are really looking good. Toward the end of the month, they get kind of a burnt look. Sort of starting now, but they still look pretty good. My potted begonia looks pretty good. This desperately needs water. It doesn't get any rain. Moonflower, beautiful. My calla lilies are looking lovely. My bergamot is on the struggle bus, I think. And the hollyhocks are as tall. I think they're about 7 feet tall now, but they still look really lovely. The hummingbirds have come to visit them. It's a nice breeze today, so it feels pretty good. And the plants that I put in the pot are doing really good. I'm sure they enjoyed that heavy rain we got yesterday. The blooms are gone from the milkweed, and the butterflies should have laid their eggs, I guess is what they do. Um, I've never inspected these as much as I probably should to make sure that there are some, but they always emerge looking lovely. So we'll head over to the grapes. The apple tree is dropping apples, and there are some really lovely looking apples. We'll hopefully have a good harvest. You can probably see some up there. In the breeze, you don't really want to stand underneath the apple tree. You'll get conked. So there are the caladiums near the grapes, and I'm just thrilled with the way they popped up. They're adding a wonderful color to this area. And the grapes are doing good. Not yet turning. And I'm not sure how big a harvest we'll have, but there are some grapes on there. Nice clusters, actually. So in front of the slanted shed are the stained glass coleus, and they are looking beautiful amongst the weeds at this point we have to ignore. Now moving around the bend, we'll visit the hydrangea. These are quick fire, and they are turning pink. I really do like the shape of this hydrangea. Unlike the mop heads that when we've had a lot of rain will just fall, this one is airy enough that it can handle rain. And the mums are coming in. The balloon flower have opened up. So far only the pink have shown up. I'm not sure if I lost the blue ones, but I'm enjoying the pink ones. Potted these impatiens. These are sun impatiens. Lacy maple looks really beautiful. You can see the two colors, not quite as striking. And as autumn comes, the colors will turn. We'll see more orange in it. But right now it's still beautiful. And the hostas are still in bloom, but it's next week we'll be hacking those down. Take a closer look so we can see the gold, I think they're called Crocosmia. I'll put it on the screen. Crocosmia, yeah. They're just starting to open up and look so lovely. In a few minutes I'll show you the red ones that are in the bird garden. And we did get these canna lilies in. I wish they were perennial and not annual. But I am moving toward more perennials. The Rockin' Deep Purple is still blooming, looking pretty, and the begonia just beyond that. Once we get all the flowers off of the hosta, we'll see that bed a little bit better. And across the way is our herb garden. Tansy is in in bloom, coming up. This is a tight yellow flower. This is a lavender I put in a pot here. It's Spanish lavender, which is quite a bit different than the English or French lavender that we usually see. My dahlias back there are actually in bloom. You can see the cactus ones are, I have pink and I have yellow. Hope to clear away this horseradish today so that we can get a better view. This is senna, and senna is now in bloom. Very pretty yellow flowers. Senna is good for the intestinal system. In our yarrow, we have the white and the dark red. You see back there some more dahlia. And those are in cloth pots. Very exciting. Daisies are still in bloom. A little deadheading will be helpful. The butterfly bush is really looking lovely. We didn't think we'd have one this year, but it's blooming and looking very pretty. Usually there's several butterflies on it this time of the year. Mandevilla is looking really pretty, filling out. I'm so pleased with this. It totally encompassing the pole that I put it on. I keep winding it around. And we have some gladiolas coming up. We'll know what color they are probably the end of the month. Peonies are still looking good. No sign of mildew yet, which is really exciting because we've had a lot of rain. Tiger lily is in bloom. Variegated willow is coming back from its severe chopping and actually needing another haircut. Can't believe how fast this thing grows. Head down to the vegetable garden now. See what our squash are doing. I think I noticed the other day that we've got a female right here. Hopefully it's had a chance to germinate and create a squash. There's been some male blooms. All we need is a little pollinator to come along and make sure that that gets pollinated. These are the determinate tomatoes in with the celery, some peppers. Hopefully they will have enough time to mature into peppers. Some borrowed view from my neighbor with her beautiful lilies there. Lots of tomatoes in there, but still quite green. These are the potatoes intermixed with the tomatoes. We'll see if they develop into anything. My son came over and put sawdust around the flower beds for me to deter the weeds. Not even a blush, but the celery looks lovely. Got some Swiss chard. I put those baskets down to protect the kale against the critters. I've got nasturtium coming in there, Swiss chard, Lots of blooms on our peppers. Toward the end of the month, we'll probably see some peppers on there. That's exciting. So one of the major exciting things are my onions. This has been the most successful year I've had in growing beautiful globe onions. Got white and yellow and red. So I'm very excited about that. We've got beans coming. I've picked a couple really slender ones, but nothing to make a harvest out of. And somehow I got a vining bean. I don't know. That must have been hidden in the bush beans. So some sad news. The bunnies have eaten away at my cucumbers, so I'm probably not going to have much of a cucumber harvest. And the tomatoes are too heavy. I needed to put a middle post in there, and with all the rains and my health, I haven't been able to get out here and get that propped up. But luckily the tomatoes are hanging in there. We still have enough days for these to ripen and have a tomato harvest. So the elderberry patch and goji berry, we still have hopes for this goji. It's still green. There's some weeds around it. We planted some zinnia to give this a little color. Lots of weeds. We need to get in here and take care of them. Lacy, black lace elderberry is looking pretty. It's got some new shoots coming in, and this monster is getting a bit out of control. This is now a bed of perennial hibiscus. I planted this last year, and it's coming. Lots of blooms on it. We put a lily in here. I couldn't resist at $5. And this was a gift from my neighbor, and I can't remember what color these hibiscus are. I love hardy hibiscus. These were in full bloom yesterday, but unfortunately they've decided to close their blooms. We just planted this yesterday, and it's going to be a gorgeous red. There's lots of blooms still coming, so I'll see if I can throw a shot of the open bloom in here so you can see it. And here we are at the entrance garden, and the daisies are still looking lovely. I have some Rudbeckia coming in, sort of to take their place. Deadheading them will make it a lot nicer. But unfortunately, the petunias couldn't fight off the thistle. They don't look as good. It doesn't look bad, but I'm sure it could have looked a lot better if the thistle hadn't taken over. So heading toward the bird garden now, and the crocosmia here. This is Lucifer tongue, I think it's called. Such a beautiful flower. Rudbeckia is coming in. And this hardy hibiscus, it's not getting much sun, but it sure wants to make a bloom of it. And the grasses look pretty, all wavy and lovely.